So here at the Collective Genius, ultimately we are one thing, right? We're a community, and our community really focuses around creating a fast track, if you will, for real estate investors, high caliber real estate investors that are looking to scale their business, create wealth, and give back. And the reality of it is, whether in your real estate business or you're an entrepreneur of any sort, that path, that walk, that journey, it has a lot of bumps. It has a lot of bruises. A lot of times there's blood, sweat, and tears associated with that. And our goal really is to fundamentally make that easier for you through connection and structure. Those are two of the key things that really can create that shortcut, if you will, for investors. When we talk about those struggles, those bumps, those bruises, those questions, that uncertainty, what are they? It could be finding, attracting, retaining, training, onboarding employees, really building your A-team, and really more importantly, having that A-team follow you through a clear vision. That's where a lot of leaders struggle, if you will, or a lot of leaders fall down. It might be even, introducing new lead generation techniques into your business to throw out more deals. It might be, hey, I've got enough leads, I really need to dial in conversion. Or it may be, hey, I've got all that figured out, but I don't really have a wealth strategy, an end goal in mind as far as how to take that, that core business in mind, which is the cash cow, to create cash flow, long-term cash flow. And ultimately, the way that we help you with all those things is that we've created a community here. We have experts in all those fields. And so what we do is we connect you with those folks, in all capacities, whether it's, connecting you with somebody like a Mike Osborne in Northern California, who's direct mailing 200,000+ postcards a month and doing several hundred deals a year. Or maybe you're like, hey, I'm making a ton of money, but now I don't know what to do with it. And, we can introduce you to somebody like a Mike Jake, who's, the guy's, he's at a point in his life where he probably rides dirt bikes more than he bothers messing around with leads, because he's built a rental portfolio that allows him to live off of that cash flow day in and day out. And he's here to help folks just like you do that. My biggest job here is really to drive the culture home, right? We've talked about tactical and practical stuff, about leads, about hiring, about firing, about training, and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, my job here is to create a culture that promotes giving. Every CG, before we get rocking and rolling, we open up really defining who we are, what we stand for.
And that is that we observe these core values, right? Number one is integrity. It's pretty simple. Honor your word. I empower you to operate from a place of integrity at all times. If you say you're gonna do something, do it, and if you can't, communicate it. It's real simple. Number two, at the core of what this is, it's a community, right? It's not a mastermind, it's not a CEO peer group, it's a community. But we stick together. We help each other through the challenges. That's what makes this thing tick. And finally, be a go-giver, right? I'm telling you right now, if you will put all your business down, all your nonsense, and just for the next couple of days, open up your heart and really say, I'm gonna help some other people, you will walk out with way more than you came to get personally.
When I talk about that core value and I say, number two is most important, that community, the way that we really make this community thrive is that we reinforce giving at the highest level. We kind of put you through a process, right, that really extracts your needs, your desires, what you're trying to accomplish. And when you're up there, you're in a room, right, of other top talented individuals, and people are saying, I'll help you with this, and I'll help you with that. And ultimately, we don't allow that to just happen. Everybody gets up there. They're talented folks, but nobody writes anything down, and they leave, and they don't really extract the benefit out of the organization. And that's really, to me, what makes the Collective Genius different is that when you're speaking and you're asking for help, we're documenting. Literally, I want you to just slow down for a moment and think through this, right? When you're up there speaking and people are telling you that they're going to help you, we are actually literally documenting the things that people are saying, categorizing those connections, and within about 48 hours of you going home, we've officially made those connections to those individuals, right? If you're struggling with hiring or training your employees at any given capacity, say you're a rehabber, right? We might put you together with someone like a Jeremy Heath, right? This guy's a complete rock star out of San Antonio, Texas, really embodies our culture here. he kicks butt when it comes to construction, right? So if you're struggling in managing construction, you're bleeding, you're underestimating repairs, you're just beating your brains out, we'll say, okay, we're going to connect you with Jeremy, right? And we literally via text message or email put you onto that connection, introduce you to Jeremy. You guys set up a phone to talk, or really sometimes take it to the next level. One of the things that we really drive here is office visits.
The office visits that have been taking place inside of this organization, people getting in a car, jumping on a plane to go see what other people are doing and how they're doing it, has been pretty epic.
We really take it to the next level. We don't really leave it in your hands to create success. We take that responsibility for you and make those connections, not just at the meeting, but we document them and almost forcefully create them for you so that you get the results that you're looking for. We have like a phrase here that we talk about on our team meetings, and it's, we are ruthlessly and relentlessly in pursuit of results for our members, right? We call it R4, ruthlessly and relentlessly in pursuit of relationships that create results for investors just like yourself. One of the things too that we look at is like, what are the results? If you don't have a peer group, if you don't have a community of high level folks that inspire you, like what are really like the outcomes if you don't address the challenges, right? Like you could be watching this video right now, sitting in your office or flipping through your cell phone, and whatever you were worried about today, whatever you were concerned about today, who can you reach out to who's doing it way better than you are, right? So what we do is we connect you through other visionary leaders that are playing at a higher level in order to help you through those processes so that you can, in fact, do the pillars that we create inside of our organization, which is to scale your business, right? Which in turn, through that scaling, build wealth, right? Because here's the thing, a lot of folks are doing big volume, right? I flip 120 houses, or I flip 220 houses. But the reality of it is, a lot of times, you're not really running your business efficiently. If you're not running your business efficiently, you can be generating a lot of revenue, but not really putting a lot on the bottom line, right? Like we have a saying around here, you can have a green P&L, but a red bank statement. And so those are the things that we really take an effort in attacking at the Collective Genius. A lot of people ask me, like, what kind of makes you qualified to do this? And the reality of it is I've been running CG for about 10 years. We are the oldest, most established, probably, I'd like to think, and from what I hear, the most respected mastermind out there. And that's for a variety of reasons. It's the caliber of investor that's here. A lot of people talk about, I run a high caliber mastermind. But at the end of the day, when you look around and do some looking around, ask some folks in the industry, ask them where the highest caliber investors go, the folks that are flipping 200, 300, 400 properties a year, the folks that have built a portfolio of 200, 300, 400 units. After having run this organization for almost 10 plus years, I've really become hyper connected. And so when I'm talking to somebody and trying to understand about their business, my mind, as well as the folks on my team, we immediately begin to process who do we know that can help you fix the issues and the challenges that you're dealing with. The cool part about coming to CG is we've really developed almost a systematic process, if you will, of allowing you to share what you're struggling with, and more importantly, when you do that, creating results for you. So, we have a hot seat here that, when you get up, you talk about not only what you're doing well, but more importantly, what you're doing not so well. And once you come in and you get a little bit vulnerable, right? And we'll push you around a little bit, right? We're going to tell you to check your ego at the door. We're going to tell you to put down the drama, leave the mask at home. Come in here and get raw, right? I don't care if things are going good. A lot of success is equally as challenging as failure. And when we figure out what you need help with, say for example, like a Brett Snodgrass, right? He came in here from Indianapolis. He's probably been here, I think, 4+ years. He was doing about 100 or 120 wholesale deals a year. And the reality of it was he'd kind of gotten stuck in a plateau, and he was trying to determine, like, how come I can't break through these thresholds that I've been stuck at for the last 2 years or so. And the reality of it wasn't about a tactical measure or some system he needed to implement. He wasn't leading his team, right? He didn't have structure that defined the way his organization worked. And we help him put that structure in place through the integration of different platforms like EOS, et cetera. Now he's still in Indianapolis flipping 250 to 300 properties a year, and really created a culture at his business and an environment at his business where he's got a team functioning and firing on all cylinders. The second component of that a lot of folks are missing out on is connection. A great example that I could give you of that would be Eric Brewer. He's out of York, PA. He's probably been in CG for 3+ years. He was coming in here, he was doing a lot of retail rehabs, right? A couple hundred retail rehabs a year. And he saw an opportunity. We have a bunch of turnkey providers in CG, probably 15+ or so turnkey providers. And he saw an opportunity to start doing turnkey rentals in his marketplace. And at the end of the day, he was good at construction from doing the retail rehabs, but he didn't have buyers for those turnkey rentals. And so through connection, I can sit down with Eric and say, hey, I can totally back you with this new initiative that you're taking, because I can connect you with a lot of the aggregators who have those buyers who, as soon as you complete that, finish that asset, clean it up, get it rent ready and fill it with a renter and it's performing, they will snatch those properties up for you, right? So in a situation like that, the connections take place from front to the back of the transaction, right? I can connect Eric with somebody like a Mark De La Tour, who will probably do 150 turnkey deals this year and has probably 400 or 500 deals in his property management company. Or a Missy McCall, complete rock star. We call her the lady boss around here. She'll probably do 200+ turnkey deals and has 1,600 under management, right? So on the front end, helping him refine that model. And then on the back end, it's like, okay, I got the construction part down. Now how do I move the assets? How do I move these houses out? And then we connect them to folks inside of our organization, like the Real Wealth Networks or the David Phelps of the world, who have audiences, people that are ready to gobble those assets up, right? So we can really help you from soup to nuts, from implementing structure in your business, right? That gives you, really helps you create that well-oiled machine. And then through connection to the power hitters inside this organization, we can really help take you to the next level from a deal flow perspective, right? Eric's a perfect, he'll probably sell 50+ turnkey deals this year. You take examples like that and you look at, like, what does that equate to? You take 50 transactions and let's just say that each of those transactions nets him 15 grand. You're talking about $750,000 a year through a couple of connections and identifying a model and having some of the top folks in the country help you refine it. Right about now, you're probably thinking that sounds great. So, what is the next step? If it's something that you're interested in, we'd love to talk to you. There's a button somewhere on this page right now near this video where you can request to come to our next mastermind. It's a super chill process. You literally, when you complete your application, you're just going to get on the phone. We're going to talk about what your challenges are. There's no sale that takes place. We're not going to push you or sell you to join CG. You literally, if you come onto this call, you cannot say, hey, I'm ready to go. I want to join CG. That's not the purpose of the call. The purpose of the call is to look at your application, literally tell you strategically how we're going to tackle the challenges and the goals that what challenges you want to attack, what goals you want to achieve. We're going to get on the phone and literally tell you, walk through each of those and give you specific examples of how we can help you and who we can connect you to that will help you do those things, right? Say you're on your challenge, you say, hey, I'm crushing it from an active income perspective, but I'm not investing, I'm not really building any long-term wealth or passive income, and I need to take that to the next level. So, when you complete your application, we'll say, well, what type of asset class are you interested in? Apartment, single family, self-storage? What's most intriguing to you? And, when you give us an answer, we're gonna guide you from that. You just might say, well, I'm really interested in self-storage. And so we'll connect you with a guy like Scott Myers, who will say, hey, come on out to my office, visit my office, I'll jump on the phone with you, do a Zoom call, and I'll answer any questions you have. If you want to get your feet wet and invest in a syndication first before you do a deal on your own or whatever, we will literally point you to the people that can help you. If at the end of the call you feel like we can help you and we feel like you're a good cultural fit for our organization, we'll ask you to come check us out, right, at our next mastermind, and then we test drive each other. We're really at that point going to looking to see if you fit within our culture. It's very much driven around giving, and if you bring value here and you're giving, and then you wake up and say, wow, the things that we talked about, the struggles that I wanted to attack, the goals I wanted to accomplish that I put on my application, I can look around and I can really see how that's going to happen here through the systems and processes, and probably at a higher level, the connections, right? The people here that are going to sit down with you and invest in you as a human being, and as an investor. And at the end of the 3 days after you've been here with us, there's no push. There's no like you go to if you don't join the collective genius in the next 3.2 seconds, life will never be the same. We don't do any of that. We just really have a simple conversation like, are we the right fit? You know, is CG going to be a better organization because you're a part of it, and are you going to be a better investor and human being because you're a part of CG? And if the answer to both those questions is yes, we saddle up and we start crushing it together. It's really that simple. So, you know, if you've been intrigued by this, you got nothing to lose. It's really no risk. Fill out an application, jump on the phone, talk to our team, and figure out what's next. It's that simple.